Alright friends, so for this specific painting, I'm going to go in the middle of our canvas and just draw a line to divide it. And then I'm going to go across to make a trapezius. You can do a smaller trapezius, a bigger trapezius. I'm just going to put 2 random lines. 2 random lines in 2 random places. So right now I have the line in the middle, as well as the line here and the line right there for the trapezius. And we're gonna start painting the half that does not have a trapezius on it. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this in white. Then I'm gonna add a little yellow to the top, and then just a little bit of like an apricot lighter orange on the very, very top. So hang on with us and we'll get going. Alright crew, so I got this flat brush in my hand right now. And I dipped it in a little bit of water. And I'm just dipping it in a little bit of white paint. And I'm just going to paint the top half in this white color. Okay, now that we got the white going, I'm just going to take some yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to it. And I like to dip both sides of my brush in the paint when I paint, because then I can use both of them back and forth. Like that. And I'm gonna go down the sides a little bit. I'm gonna leave the middle part just white, but I'm gonna go to the sides a little bit with the yellow. And I like to paint the edges of my canvas too, but you can do whatever you'd like. And I'm gonna take a lighter orange, like an apricot orange, lighter one, and put on the very top of that a little bit of the orange. You can drag the orange down the sides a little bit too if you'd like. Alright crew, the next step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some yellow again. And I'm gonna go right underneath the light we drew and just paint a streak of yellow under that line we drew. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of a darker orange and I'm gonna paint that down below that in the 2 outer sections of the trapezius. We're gonna leave the middle part alone, but the 2 outer sections of the trapezius we're gonna put with orange. I'm just gonna get a little more down here and then we'll get right back with you. And I'm gonna blend that into the yellow. I'm gonna blend it into the yellow over here, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of the lighter orange on top of that darker orange, and I'm gonna come up. I'm not going to rinse the brush after I use the darker orange. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the lighter orange and come up with it. So I'm gonna do this other side the same way, and then I'll meet you in a minute. Okay, so if you got something like this, take a thinner brush with a darker brown and just make a couple of lines here and there. We're gonna make trees out of them. Just make a few lines. They don't have to be straight, they don't have to be all the same size because trees are different, that's nature. If you need a bigger brush when you get to the bottom, use a bigger brush. It's all good. Some of them can be taller, some of them can be shorter. And then just make sure you use the thinner brush for this. Put a couple of random lines in the bag to be like trees that are farther away. And then you can add in little branches with the thin brush as well. So get going on that, and we'll see you in a minute. Alright crew, so after you got your trees and branches, they can go in different heights, different shades of brown. I got a little lighter brown in some places. Don't worry about the way it looks, because you will add more things on there, so you can adjust it as needed. You want another flat brush. You can use the one, like this is the one I use for the background, you can use it. But I'm going to use this flat brush because the head of it is going to work better for this technique because the head of it is fluffy, like that. So we're going to go back to the dark orange and just don't dip the whole brush in there, just dip the top and just like dot some orange around, like lift. Make sure your trees are completely dry before you do this. I'm gonna wait a little longer because some of mine are not, but just dot a lot around in the dark orange along the tree. And we're gonna add some reds and yellows and different colors to it in a minute, but we're just gonna start with the orange for right now. Alright crew, hopefully everyone did okay with that. My trees look like they're on fire right now, but that is perfectly fine. And keep in mind that this orange bottom you did, the orange on top of it might not show up as well, but that's okay. Let this dry, and it's okay if you left some out with none, because remember we're going to add some reds and other colors to it as well. Take one of these brushes, you can get them at the dollar store, a pack of 10 or 12 or $1, or in any other store. It's the brushes that come, if you get anything that has those tiny little paint things, these brushes come with that. So just take one of this and dip it in the bright red, because this will give it a different texture, and just tap around. When it's dry, just tap around and move it along, and that will add a little more color. Don't do everything in red, just do like here and there and there and here. That way we can add some other yellows and other reds and different colors to it. So when you're done with the orange and red and they're all dry, you take a brush like you just did for the red and dip it in a bright yellow and do the same thing with the yellow. And then see how it looks, and if you think you need some more shades of reds, orange and yellows, go for it. And if not, then I'll meet you for the next step in a minute. Okay, well, I hope you're all doing good so far. I'm just showing you how I'm doing right now. This side's already getting some yellow in it, this side I haven't gotten to yet. And what I'm doing is really just grabbing a little bit and dotting it. And then after I take all the paint off the brush, I go and smear it in a little bit. And your trees are going to look like they're on fire right now. That is perfectly fine if they look like they're on fire. You're doing good. I'm going to finish the yellow over here and on the bottom. And I'm going to do the other side. And I will go into this area. Just keep in mind that you can have leaves on the floor, because in the forest and in the yard and things in fall, leaves are on the floor. So feel free to drag them down. Drag them down, and that's perfectly fine. So let's finish our yellow, and then we'll get back to this part in the middle of the trapezius. Alright friends, so everybody's done with the trees. We're going to take a break from the trees. Take a little bit of bright blue in a paintbrush and just paint it down. Maybe not with this paintbrush. Frankly, I also read these brushes from the dollar stores. They were $4 for $1. And we're just going to go like that. Take a little bit of a darker blue and add a little bit of a darker blue in the top. And then just blend it in and bring it back forward. Then grab a tiny bit of white so it can look like it's smeared a little bit like water does. And we're going to come forward with it again. And we're just going to... No water is perfect, no tree is perfect, nothing's perfect in this world. So it's okay, we're going to fill where we're leaving a little bit of white here in the edges, we're going to fill with the orange and reds and different things. So that is okay. You can do that blue, you can do a lighter blue, you can do a darker blue, whatever you want. So when you're done with that, put your brush down. And then grab your orange, right? A little bit of orange and start filling in these areas that are white. Or if you need to, start like I probably need to, just wait for the blue to dry and then do it. I do want to mention to you guys that this painting can look a whole bunch of different ways. Whichever shades of the colors you use, what type of colors you use. I'm using Arctic paints, but whatever paint you want. You can also do this with crayons and color pencils on a piece of paper. So it really depends the way it looks out and the way it comes out. It depends on what it is you use and which techniques you're using them. Because I'm using a whole bunch of different techniques on this painting, but you might prefer some of them over others. So it could look a million ways. And please, if you do choose to try it, please comment below and show me a picture. Take a picture of what it is you created, and I want to see what yours looks like because I'm very fascinated with the trees being different from the beginning, because you can do the trees how many trees you want, however you want, with everything, with the colors that we blended, with the different shades. Let me see. I want to know what you guys created. So I'm going to wait for the blue to dry, and I'm going to fill the white with orange and yellow and red, and then I'll be back with you all. Alright crew, so I just added the bridge, but you can add any animal to it, you can add whatever you want to it. And there you go, that is our painting for today. Like I said, let me see what you all did with it, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.